is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind. So high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Hello. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Wherever you might be. Welcome to today's live stream. And as you can see, we are in Explain 12 flying the X-Craft's Embraer E175 jet. So we're flying the E-jet today from Boston to New York here in X-Plane 12. It's going to be a bit of fun. I really love the E-jets by X-Crafts here in X-Plane 12. X-Plane 12 is absolutely amazing. All right. Okay, so here we are. We've got all the chocks and engine covers and all that stuff set in at the moment. We're going to go ahead and get rid of them and get ourselves started up here. We got the city of Boston off to our distance as well. Anyway, we're ready to get started. Is there anybody in the chat? Oh, I need to change that. Give me a second. Let me change the information on the nav bar there. There we go. Boston to New York, just like that. Now we've got the correct information for today's flight on the nav bar. Perfect. Okay. Without further delay, let's first go ahead and check out today's flight plan here on Little Nav Map. So we are at the moment in Boston Logan International Airport. We're going to fly out using, I think, the SOX 6 departure. Not sure. Yeah, I think it's a SOX S6 departure probably. They're going to fly on towards New York. All right. We're going to fly into JFK today. And we're going to land into runway 22 left. Using the ILS at 22 left. We're not going to do this little bit here. We're going to skip Capit and fly directly to Rosalie most probably. And then we're going to catch the ILS and come in to land at runway 22 left. It's a short flight today, short and sweet as you can tell from Little Nav Map here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that away for the time being. With that said, let's go ahead and you know what, first before we jump into the aircraft, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at where we are. Really nice runway markings there, really nice. Boston Logan International Airport. That is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the default X-Plane 12 airport for Boston. And it doesn't look bad at all. Got the city off there to the distance. The lighting really makes it look much better. And I'm not on the 12.3 beta. Or beta, however you want to say it. I'm still on 12.2 release of X-Plane 12. So even in 12.2 it looks fantastic to me. Looks pretty good. Right, obviously I've got auto ortho running. I've got Sim Heaven running. I've got global forests that I have installed. Okay, so that's what you're seeing, the vegetation here. It's global forests most likely. Then I've got an airport enhancement pack installed as well. So you can see a lot of the markings look really good. So yeah, we're looking good here in X-Plane 12. Given that, let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and jump into our aircraft for the first time. Here we are. Let's take a look at the tablet. Let's get rid of our ground covers. Is our parking brake engaged? Let me put that up. Parking brake. Oh, where are you going? No, I don't want you to go. I just want this thing to raise. Come on, good sir. Okay, where are you going? How do I... Oh, there we go. That's all I wanted to do. Okay. Parking brake is engaged. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of our ground objects here. GPU can get connected. Weight and balance. Let me go ahead and request the company load sheet there. I'm gonna view that load sheet. I'm gonna leave it here. We'll load it in just a second. Let's go ahead and open the forward passenger door and let's get jetway connected as well, right? So let's go ahead, connect the jetway, open that up. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's happening right there. We'll let that happen. Okay. Weight and balance will wait to load the plane, or should we just load it? You know what? Let me just load it. There we go. I've loaded up the plane there. Let's go to the overhead view. Let's get the batteries going. Let's get emergency lights armed. Let's get GPU going there as well. Nav lights are on. Brilliant. We don't need any other lights really. But passenger signs can come on. And we can turn this on as well. Doesn't matter. It's a bunch of tests here, which I'm not really interested in doing. I just do them for the sake of it, you know what I mean? So there's a bunch of stuff here. Then we got warnings here. We can remove all of that. So yeah, we got everything we need to keep going with right there. All we need to really do is program in the route, get our APU running, and we can leave. Get on out of here. Okay, so load the plane there. Let's program our route before we actually go in and yeah, let's do that before we actually go in. So let's do that. Okay, we don't need to worry about all of this at the moment. Let me go to, there we go. Let's go to our route here. Our destination for today is KJFK. Put that in. And do we have a flight plan request? Can we request something from here? I don't know how this works. I don't know how to. Flight plan list? No, nothing available. So, yeah, there's nothing available here. Maybe we need to put this in the folder first. I don't know how this works, but anyway. Flight ID for today is FDNX. I'm going to put that in. Departure. Now, out of KBOS, what are we doing? Before I come, okay, let me just go through this. Out of KBOS, we're using SOX. So let's pick our runway. Runway is going to be 22R out of Boston. We're going to use this one right here, and we can apply that. Okay. Then we're flying direct to Buzzard. Oh, I just realized it's supposed to be Buzzard. It's supposed to be Buzzard direct. And we're supposed to fly direct to Say, which I'm assuming is a VOR. We can fly directly to Say, which is in the USA, not the one in China. We can put that in and direct to KJFK from there. Activate it. Let's go to our arrival. Arrival runway for the day is going to be 22 left into KJFK. We're going to program this in advance here. And we're going to use the ILS 22 left, which is right here. Any transitions that we plan on using? No, I'm good. Let us just apply this right here. Okay. And I'm going to say activate it. Clear this, please, if we can. No, we can't do this here, can we? Maybe we can. There we go. We can, I guess. Okay. Let me have a look at the flight plan here. I don't know if what I've done is correct there. Runway 22L after going through Rosalie, Buzzard, Say, Zalpo. Yeah, I think that's correct. I think that's correct. If we look at the flight plan here, yeah, we got a little bit of an issue with a bit of the flight plan. If you ask me, we don't have a bunch of the waypoints that we're looking at. That's interesting. That's interesting. That waypoint is actually not put in here. That doesn't make any sense. Does that make any sense to you? Okay. Okay, something isn't right here. Something isn't right. Sometimes it works well. Sometimes it doesn't. Landing, approach, landing, descent, arrival. Okay, let's go to arrival. What is our... Ah, there we go. Now I know why it's not right. We did not select an arrival procedure. Okay, now I know why. And our transition point for this is going to actually be say. So let's pick that in. Now we should have the right... yeah, there we go. That's much better. Now if we go to our flight plan, we've got it. There we go. That is a much better flight plan. My bad. I got a little bit confused there. Yeah. You get a little bit confused sometimes. That's okay. There we go. Now we're not going to fly these vectors. We're going to delete them. So we can actually get rid of them, can't we? Yeah, we're going to get rid of that waypoint right there because I don't want it. So I'm going to delete this waypoint. I'm going to delete these vectors as well. And then I'm going to delete this. There we go. That's more like what I want it to be. Perfect. Got ourselves a good flight plan. Let's go to performance initialization here. EM, hello there, man. Thank you for your kind words, sir. I'm glad that you are enjoying it. Don't hurry. Yeah, I'll try my best to slow down. I'm really not hurrying, EM. It's just that in the E-Jet by X-Crafts, it's just a quick setup. Like it's, you just end up zooming through it. Even if you try to slow down, you really can't. So yeah, I'm trying my best to pump the brakes, but there isn't much to it, if I'm being honest. So there you go. All right, so we've got our performance tab here. Okay, that's interesting. I can't load my plan. Okay, I have an idea. All right, let me get our alternate fuel here. Alternate fuel for today is 1663. That is in pounds, correct? I believe it's in pounds. Okay, I hope it's in pounds. I don't know. Yeah, it has to be in pounds. 1663 pounds. There we go. Sounds about right. Perfect. Let's move on. Let's move on with it. Let's go to the next page. Cruising altitude for today. What is it going to be for today? We're looking at 22,000. So let's do 22,000 here. And zero fuel weight for today is 62,613. That is what it's supposed to be. 62,613. And we put that in. Takeoff, center of gravity and all that stuff. We can go right here to our panel here. Our zero fuel weight. Okay, you know what we'll do? We'll copy this one rather than the flight plan from SimReef. So 61,950 is what we'll use. 61,950. 61,950, which is very close to what we have in here. It's not that big of a deal, but better to be accurate. And we've got takeoff center of gravity at 18. So let's put that in. 18 goes in. Brilliant. Moving on. Climb speed. That is fine. That is all fine. Descent speed, cruise speed. I think that's okay. Because if we cruise any quicker, today's flight is just going to be too short. So that's fine. Let's move on. How are we flying today? Let's have a look at our performance. Takeoff performance. KBOS 69 whatever. Flap setting. We're going flaps 1. Takeoff thrust is TO1. Runway 0. That is all correct. Let's put in our wind information here. For KBOS, it is going to be 13 knots. So there's a bit of wind today. Temperature today is going to be 19 degrees Celsius. QNH is going to be 30.10. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. That is exactly correct. Let's compute our data. We can send it to FMS, but I'm just going to manually plug this in, isn't it? V1, VR, V2, VFS. Okay. So what we can do is we can just bring this up and we can come here and we can plug that in. So TO1 today. Let's put that in. flex. Do we want to do the flex stuff today? Just gonna leave it. Takeout temperature today is 19. Gonna put that in there. Okay, I'm gonna leave it exactly the way it is. I'm not gonna turn this on. Yeah, I'm not gonna turn this on. I'm gonna leave it exactly the way it is. Okay, moving on. Wind today is 70/13. Okay, that's fine. Next page. Takeout temperature mode is flex. Temperature is off. Flaps 2. Let's use flaps 1 today. How do you put it into flaps 1 again? No, we're gonna do that. Flap 1 there. There we go. I want to do flap 1. Takeoff temperature. Do we do this? And should I use this? Should I use this? Is the question. You know what? Leave it. Leave it. We're gonna go exactly the way it is. Okay, so now if we want to put this in, I believe there's a way for us to load the V speeds from right here. If we wanted to, there we go. We can do that if we wanted to. So, you know, it's not that big of a deal. If we come back to performance and takeoff, there is your speed right there. 35, 41, 43, 187. Flaps 1, pitch trim at 4. Okay, so takeoff pitch 11 and... Okay, that's all fine. Okay, so we need to remember to put that in. Let's get rid of this for now. Climb, we've got climb information there. Let's go back down to our FMC here. Transition altitude, all that is good. Cruise is good. Descent is good. Arrival is good. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and press our APU. So let's get our APU started. Gonna start that up. Let's see if that actually worked. Not yet. Hold on. Okay, that should work. Yes, it has. Good. EM says, I was flying to Blagnac. That's in France, LFBO, from Seattle on an A330 a day ago. That is a long flight, man. Always something to make prepares with small aircrafts. You never land with flaps configuration to take off or land. Oh. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad that you find the tutorials useful there. It's very easy to miss something on the takeoff. The best thing you can do is just to practice it, you know. Let's put our red beacon on now. A little early for it, but we'll leave it on. And let's get rid of this here, because we don't need it, really. Okay. And if we come down here, we can get rid of the GPU, because we don't need it. There we go. Let's get rid of the jetway. And passenger door is already closed, which is brilliant. But I thought I got rid of the GPU there. There we go. That's more like it. Let's go ahead and get our aircraft pushed back because, you know, why not, right? So we've got our local pressure at 30.0. What is it going to be? It is 30.10. So let's put that in here. Barometric pressure at 30.10. We're just going to use this. Today we're not going to set this one. So 30.10. And for altitude, we're supposed to be at 22,000 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now. 22,000. Then we're going to go ahead and arm our nav. If I can find it. That's nav. What? That's not nav. Where is nav? Oh, there it is. What is it saying? Oh, FD. FD, there we go. Nav on. VNav armed there as well. Brilliant. Okay. So we'll clear that. So we've got all this tuned. We're pretty much ready to get on out of here. We need to set our takeoff trim here to 4.0. Is that the one that I'm thinking about? Yep, 4 up, and that's already set, so we don't need to worry about it either. Brilliant. Let's go ahead and request pushback today. Start pushback.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Okay, my tow better be coming. Thank you very much. For example, N1 throttle position on Challenger C350 depends on temperature at airport in which it is located. Yeah, you have to adjust a lot of throttle positions based on the outside temperature. That is correct. It's true for a lot of aircrafts, just like we did today. We didn't use the flex temperature today, but it is dependent. Yeah, you're right. I don't have any Challenger aircraft. There is the C650. I believe it's called the 650, right? For X-Plane 12, which is probably the best aircraft, they say, 4 flights in period. I would love to have it. Unfortunately, it's a bit expensive, and
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed, and we're ready to connect.
Okay, do your thing. Do your thing, sir. Which is very expensive, but it is one of the best flights in...
We got that winching strap and adapter hooked up. Go ahead and let go of the parking brake when you're ready for a push.
All right, mate. Will do. Will do. There we go. Got the red beacon lights going. So yeah, the Challenger C650 is the one that I want to get my hands on, but unfortunately it's a bit pricey. And there is a steep learning curve from what I've realized. But anyway, here we go. We've got pushback going on. Let's go ahead and start up our engines here, which is once again very, very simple. Here in X-Plane with the X-Crafts here. Okay. So we've got our engine number 1 starting up. Let's go ahead and have a look at that.
Once again, welcome aboard X-Crafts. We are creating the most flyer-friendly aircraft, and it's our sincere hope that you have a pleasant experience with us today. At this time, I would like to review some of the safety features of this Embraer 175.
Yeah, it's an expensive business, this thing.
Located in the
Flight simming.
You can follow along as I point out the airplane's safety features. There are 6 clearly marked exits. The main cabin door through which you enter. An exit on the right side opposite the main door. 2 window exits located over the wings and 2 rear exits. Take a moment to locate the exit.
Okay. I'm going to go back in here. And I'm going to start up the second engine. Just waiting a little bit here. Okay. I think reverses are available. I'm not too sure. There we go. Looking good.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Will do. Let's go ahead and set the parking brake.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Okay. Just waiting for that click so we know reverses are available. There we go. Let's go ahead and drop our flaps here to position number 1, where we'll be taking off from today.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much, sir. Signal on the left. Where is that? Still waiting on it. Yeah, there we go. Still waiting on it. Gonna go ahead and do some flight control checks. So let's go through the checklist. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much, sir. See you and have a good day. All right. That's done. Like clockwork, says here. There we go. That's done. This should also be done. That's all fine. We should have done that earlier, but I'm not really bothered with that. Okay, so if we come here to our plan, we can see that that's there, map is there. If we look at our systems, we can actually check our flight controls from here if we like. Right, we can check them out. Let's see if everything is in order. First of all, the throttle is responding normally. Reverses are normal. There we go. Good. We've got controls there working as intended. Very, very good. Got rudder there. Max deflection either way. We've got nose wheel steering. Is that working? Let's put that up. Yes, it is. Okay, so we got nose wheel steering there. Just take a quick look at the controls there in action. There we go. We're good. We're good. We've released the parking brakes, as you can see, and let's turn on our taxi lights here. And yeah, we're pretty much ready to go. We've still got this on standby. That is a TCAS there. Flaps are down. Speed brakes, there's nothing to arm here. That's good. We got to turn to our left to reach our runway of choice today. We shall do that momentarily. Okay? We will do that momentarily. And let's do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's turn ourselves to the left. Okay, good. Everything is looking good as it should. Let's reduce the range there for takeoff. There we go. You know what? Let's go down even more. That's better for takeoff. Bleed, APU and all that stuff is still on. So let's go ahead and turn off our APU. We don't need that anymore. We do not need that anymore. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. We need to cross an active runway. Well, it's not active. I mean, I have no traffic injection in X-Plane. Oops, sorry about that. Ooh, sorry about that. I was just wiping my controls there. Okay. There we go. Just getting rid of some dust. Okay, so we're gonna turn this way. We're gonna cross a runway, but I'm not too worried about it. It's not like we have. It's not like we have actual traffic injection, and neither are we on any online network, so it's not a big deal. So let's take a look at the information for today. Today's flight. It says 162 nautical miles to go. We're expected to... The flight time is expected to be just 42 minutes today. That's not too bad at all. Not too shabby at all. Okay. So we're going to cross runway 33 left now. In 15R. We're going to head on towards 22R just following this. And we're also going to cross runway 15 as well on the way. So that's important. But just as a matter of exercise... We're just going to make sure that the runway is actually clear, which it is. Okay? Which it is. Brilliant. Brilliant. Taxiing along really slowly here. There's no need to rush. There we go. There's that turn there. X-Plane is looking really good. I love the lighting in X-Plane. I find that in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I've said this before, they have, at least now they've added that control where you can reduce the EV exposure. That helps, but the contrast is too high. The graphics have just way too much contrast in Microsoft Flight Sim. If you could find a way to adjust that, that will be perfect. X-Plane has the lighting nailed, so brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, we're looking good here, guys. We're looking very good. We don't need to worry about anything. So we just continue here. APU is off. Flaps it down to the correct position. A pitch trim is set. Auto brake. Where is our auto brake? We need to set that to RTO there. That is done. Auto brake is set. We are traveling along a little brisk. 14 knots. Wobbly there with the taxi. Fasten seatbelt signs. Fasten seatbelt signs on. That on. That's fine. This is done. That's fine. That's fine. Strobe light, nav light, all of that stuff. We're not yet ready for strobe and landing. Everything else is looking pretty much good here. Okay, so there isn't much to do with the X-Craft. Once you get used to this aircraft, there isn't much to do it. However, one of the things I must confess, I am pretty bad at landing this aircraft, because coming from Microsoft Flight Sim most of the time, where it's the aircrafts feel completely different to the way they do in X-Plane, and I think X-Plane is far more realistic. But the thing is that it's much more difficult to land. Weather with heavy rain, yeah, rain is absolutely better in X-Plane 12. Absolutely better in X-Plane 12. The way how it looks in X-Plane is just absolutely so cool. Okay, let's pump on our brakes a little bit there. Exaggerated head movement and stuff that I've got going on with XP Realistic. It's a little extra, so I might want to tone it down. But here we are, we're coming in to land. 127 knot landing speed. We'll double check the landing information before we land. We'll check that out. But yeah, that seems about right for a jet like this. Okay, we're just gonna hold short for a second here. Okay, and we're gonna put on our parking brake. Okay, so I want the speed here to show up. There we go, 143, which is supposed to be V2, I believe. One of the things we're supposed to do now, let's go ahead and set up our lights here. Strobe light, I'll turn them on. Taxi lights, I'll turn them off. Logo lights, inspection, red beacon, nav, all of that good stuff. Our TCAS can come down here to TARA. We can go to progress. If it will let me. It's going to take a while to do that. So yeah, oh, that's radio. Sorry, my bad. Progress is right here. Then yeah, so there's our progress. And yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. Anything else we need to do here? There was one thing that has kind of slipped my mind now. We're supposed to do before taking off. Oh yes, we need to press this button right here. Okay, there we go. Now we know. Can we release the parking brake? Oh, we can't do that using this. Okay, let's go. We're ready for takeoff. All right, as long as you press this little button here, you're ready for takeoff. All right, let's go ahead and get ourselves out of here. Come on. Move along, little jet. Move along. Ready for takeoff, guys. I hope you guys are ready. Let me just actually go to something a little clean here. Does that make sense? We need to put a little nav map there. No. So I'll go to something clean for takeoff. Right? I have a clean one for takeoff. Let's turn it in. There we go. It's a bit of an aggressive turn there. Got plenty of runway room, so not to worry. There we go. That's much better, isn't it? Okay. We don't need the nose wheel steering. Well, it still works, so that's interesting. Okay. Let's go for takeoff. Something isn't right. Yep, something isn't right. I think I've messed up with the flight plan.
1. Rotate V2.
Okay. Yeah, we've messed up with the flight plan for sure. Something ain't right. I think I've chosen the wrong runway in the FMC, haven't I? Oh, good lord. Yeah, I did. I definitely did. I didn't even notice that. I did not even see that. Yeah, we chose the wrong takeoff runway. Oh, good lord. Okay. Go ahead and give it off to the autopilot here if I can. So let me autopilot. Let's go to nav. Let's go to VNav. Let me go. Yeah, I definitely did that. What kind of mistake did I just make? Let me have a look at it. Here, what did we select? Runway 22R. That is correct. So what is the... Why did this look so funny? We were at runway 22R. I don't know what that was. I'm lost. I'm so lost. Why that display was so messed up there. We did choose the right departure. Yes, we did. Runway 22R. That's exactly where we just took off from. Something was fishy there. What was that? I have no idea. I have no idea, guys. Anyway, let's get back to our normal flight here. Ooh, flaps up. Forgot about that. There you go. Flaps are up. My brain isn't working today again, is it? Alright. There you go. Much better. Okay, that looks gorgeous. Let me get rid of this display here. I don't understand because everything seems to be in order, but at the same time the display showed us that we were on the wrong runway. I don't know. But anyway, beautiful as we take off and leave behind Boston here. The lighting in X-Plane is so good. Check that out, guys. Check that out. I have no idea what that was, but probably a stupid mistake I made. Excuse that, but apart from that, that was a decent enough of a takeoff. And look at that. That is some good lighting. That is so cool. That is very cool. Okay, we are heading up through 7,000 feet at the moment. If we increase the range there. Okay, I think that looks okay. If we increase the range, flaps are looking good. That's looking good. Auto throttle is doing its job correctly. So we don't really have anything much to do here as far as I'm concerned with the flight. Okay, we'll take a look at our landing performance as soon as we reach top of climb. We have a... Actually, you can just pull that up here. If we go to performance and we come to approach. There we go. We got all of this stuff. Sorry. If we come back to landing here, we don't have this stuff here. So, okay, that's fine. So we need to put our landing weight in here. Right? We need to do that. We need to do that. So estimated landing weight today is 66,830. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. Let's see how it goes. We'll input other information as it becomes relevant. Okay, so that'll be fine for us. Let me put all of this away for the time being and just enjoy what's going on here in the cockpit. So we've passed 10,000 feet. Let's put that away. Any other lights we need to turn off here? No, not really. But everything else pretty much on. That's all good. We don't really need to turn that on now. So everything is looking good. Okay, let's go back to flight plan. Excellent. Excellent. Let's increase the range on that. They seem to be doing okay. 40, 80 is a little too much. We'll leave it on 40 there. That's fine. Okay, we're flying over the water. And there, oh my goodness, that looks so good. That is looking great. Let's have a few cinematic ganders at this, shall we? Let's have a bit of a look here. Let's have a bit of a look here. Look at that. Can't wait to get X-Plane 12.3. I'll add a little bit of music here to the cinematic. Cruising speed about 0.79 Mach for this bird. Yeah, that's around right. That's around right. I think we're going at 0.84 or something like that today. But that's in the ballpark there for the cruising speed. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, we're still climbing here, so we'll find out soon enough how things go. If we look at our display, we can remove navaids. Remove the airports. There we go. We can remove this as well if we like. Weather. Is our weather on? Have we turned on the weather? Is there a way to turn on the weather from manually in this? I don't think so, right? Don't think so. I think weather is just... There we go. There's weather. It doesn't work. I don't think weather actually works. Does it work? Oh, it does work. Weather does work. There we go. That's good. That is good. Can have some terrain there as well if we like. But terrain is... Oh, there's some error with the plugin. Okay, I'll leave it on weather there. 20,000 feet. Coming up really quickly here. Coming up really quickly. We can just check here to know what our cruise speed is. Today's cruise speed 290 knots. That should be around what we're looking for. Yeah, that should be what we're looking for. Yeah, we're good. Let's get back in the flight deck here. Is that Embraer? Works well, no bugs? That's correct. This is X-Plane 12, X-Craft's Embraer E175 that I'm flying at the moment. There are no issues with it. It works perfectly fine. Any mistake or weird thing that you see the aircraft doing today is probably me. But when we tried to take off, you saw that there was something wrong with that display. It showed us that we were on the wrong runway for some reason, if that's what I remember correctly. But I know for a fact I was on the right runway. So that is something strange that happened. Probably something wrong with what I did. But this aircraft has no bugs as far as I know. That is to answer Grania in the chat. But yeah. Okay, 22,000, not 24, my bad, 22,000. And today's cruising speed of 290 knot. EM, we're only cruising today at 0.65 Mach. If we go any faster, this live stream is going to be way too short, I guess. It's a very short flight as it is, you know. Okay. Let's go to our flight plan. Let's have a look at what our descent... Oh, that is not too far at all. Flight level 22, and then we've got descent right here. And we're going down towards 15,000 feet. Our final altitude is 1,800 at Zalpo. We could also go to 3,000 at Rosalie. That's also fine. That's part of the ILS too. So there we go. So we can go 3,000 to Rosalie. So we'll descend down to 3,000 when the time is right. We'll do that. Okay, we shall do that. But for now, we're just happily flying along. We also need to look at our radios. So let me have a look at that. ILS today, we need to look at our frequencies. What is our frequency? I need to check that up really quickly. Give me a second. While I do that, what is the frequency for the ILS we're flying into, basically? Okay, ILS Zalpo. What is the frequency for it? It is 110.90 with a course of 223 as a localizer heading. 110.90. 110.90. That is correct. Okay, that's automatically picked up by the FMS, and that is right. So we've confirmed that. In terms of landing data, we need to go and do some stuff. Yeah, mate, I have no issues making mistakes. You know, that's how you learn. There's no issue with that. I appreciate that you see it that way. EM, thank you very much. All right, so look at that turn right there. Good Lord. Anyway, we've got head movement going on, if you're wondering. We're not falling out of the sky, just to be clear. All right, so our arrival here, landing speeds, we need to come and calculate them. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Landing performance estimated is this. The current wind in Boston is... what is it? It is... No, not Boston, my bad. KJFK, New York. It is 41 knots, so very little wind. 40/1 knot right there. Temperature in New York at the moment is 27 degrees Celsius, so slightly warm there. QNH is 30.03. Okay, so landing weight is given at 66,830. That's an estimate, and I think it's going to be slightly above, no, or slightly under, but I'm going to compute this. Okay. Flaps 5, okay. Landing speed of, what am I getting? 128 reference speed. Approach, okay, that's fine. That's fine. We can send all of this to FMS. And then let's come here, load landing speeds right there. Perfect. Come back to landing. We'll have all of this pretty much ready to go here. Pretty much ready to go. Okay. So all we have to do is at the top of descent, before top of descent, set that altitude to 3,000 feet. And we're ready to go. Brilliant. We'll use this opportunity to perform some sort of a, just to go through our approach today. So let me just bring up a little nav map. Okay, so if you guys can see that, we are flying past Buzzard at the moment. We're heading towards our transition into our arrival procedure already. So you can see how short that flight was. We're going to have top of descend, you know, about 80 something nautical miles away from Say, or rather 80 nautical miles away from our current position, I'm guessing. according to little nav map, but it's a little different in the FMC. We'll go through that. And we have mostly a crooked, straightforward arrival straight in towards our ILS here. Remember, we're not doing this little bit here with the manual. So we are flying directly from Crail to Rosalie. So that's very, very straightforward. 1800 feet is where the glide slope is supposed to be. So we can do 1800 feet, right? Above 1800 feet here. No, that doesn't make any sense. We'll do 3000 at Rosalie. Okay, glide slope begins at 1800, so we'll do 1800 later on if we don't catch the glide slope, but that's okay. I think that's what it means, but we'll figure it out. No issues. All right, fantastic. All that sounds great. I'll put that away. We're gonna go through our views one more time right before top of descent, because that's coming up really quickly, as you can see on the profile here. So let's go through one more cinematic. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. Just so you guys know, I am working on the latest guide that I released on the NAMC YSL-11. I am working on a little demo of the radio navigation and ILS systems for that aircraft. So I'm working on a little demo just to show how to use all those old-fashioned instruments, which I believe one of my viewers requested for in the comments. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be a tutorial / demonstration of how to do radio navigation in the NAMC YS11. I'm working on that video. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that. All right, one last look before we go in for top of descent. Okay, let's go in here. Let's come back into the flight deck. Top of descent is coming up. We need to put 4,000. Well, we'll do it after this little turn here. We'll set 4,000 feet. Top of descent is under 40 nautical miles, so this is still a bit of time, but however, I don't want to spend too much time waiting. Very, very nice. All right, let's hop back into the cockpit there. Let's take a look at what's going on. Let's take a look at what is going on. All right. Top of descent coming up. Let's go ahead and put 3,000 feet as our altitude here. It will let me. Come on, mate. Give me 3,000 feet. There we go. Let's see how the aircraft reacts to top of descent. Okay, so that's going to happen in about 30 nautical miles. Yeah, about 30. Let's just fly around with the views here in the meantime. What a beautiful looking jet, sleek and beautiful. Of course, I like the Lineage 1000 and the Embraer 195, 190 series much better, but this is still a very beautiful looking jet. Look at that. All right, let's head back in, see what's going on in the flight deck. Okay, there we are. Top of descent, about 10 nautical miles away now, more or less. Right? Looking good. Looking good. The lighting and the atmospheric haze right there is just brilliant. It is brilliant and explained. Sure, the water could do with some work, I guess. It's a little bit more, maybe. This is just brilliant. Brilliant. From this altitude with auto XP running, auto ortho running, sorry, my bad. This just looks brilliant. Anyway. Coming into the New York area there. Top of descent coming up. There we go. We have begun descending, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are following the path more or less quite well. Let's reduce the range there just to keep a closer eye on things happening. Speed reducing towards our descent speed of 280. That's happening fairly good, fairly well. Okay, our auto brake can go to low auto brakes. Let's do that. We can put low auto brakes there. Should we do medium? Let's just do low. Let's just do low. Okay, we'll do low. Okay. We'll do low on that, and we'll capture the ILS. We'll make sure that we capture the glide slope, and once that's done, we'll actually go ahead and take manual control and fly it in by ourselves. I also need a little bit of time. We need to prepare in advance because this aircraft is it's a bit difficult for me to land. So I want to be a bit prepared to land it. So I'm going to take control a little earlier than I normally would. Okay, so we've got the approach button here. I don't see a separate localizer button per se. Right? It does have various options here, and I don't know how to, I'll be quite frankly honest with you. I have no idea how to operate the VOR DME using this in this particular aircraft. That's something I need to learn. How to use VOR DME is something I need to learn. But I'm guessing it's the buttons here. This is not something I'm good with at the moment. But yes, ILS is fairly straightforward. It's just the approach button. Nothing else to it. Okay, good. Localizer 1 is in this direction, which is correct, I think. Let's find out. Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen. There is the needle pointing to the direction of the localizer, pretty much. Let's see how it goes. There is no DME available with that, obviously. I don't know why exactly, but yeah, that should have a DME, shouldn't it? I don't know. Anyway. Still have a lot to learn about this aircraft, and I haven't been flying it as much as I really should have, because I've been focusing on MSFS of late, so I need to really learn how to fly this aircraft. And I need to, once I do learn, I need to put out some good tutorials on this X-Crafts one, because I've been looking for some tutorials, and I'll be honest, I haven't exhausted the full list of videos on YouTube, but there aren't many that I've found has a full flight tutorial in one go, so I'm going to make that for this aircraft once I learn it myself, that is. I need to do that. Right. Okay, let's see how this is going. Enough about that. Okay, there we go. Oh, we seem to be right on top of everything we need to do. Let's take a look at that. From the cabin or outside the cabin. We're having a lot of stutters there. What is going on? What is going on there? Bit of stuttering there. I don't know what that was about. I don't like that. Yeah, what is with the stuttering? What is with the stuttering? Something is going on that is not to the liking of X-Plane. Yeah, something is going on that is not to the liking of X-Plane. Okay. Should be better now. I've closed some things on my PC, so should be better. New York is looking good. We need, yeah, I also need it, EM. I need to figure it out first. It's gonna be difficult. Need to make a comprehensive full flight tutorial first on this. Anyway. Looking good beneath us. Yeah, that's looking good. Still following VNAV profile very, very nicely here. Auto brakes have been set. There isn't much else to do here if I'm being honest. Speed is still at 280. We don't need to think about flaps just yet. Let's take a look at this. Hold on. Not this. That's not what I want. Let's take a look at what distance we have left to our destination here. Distance to go. 48 nautical miles left to the airport. Yeah, we're alright. We're alright. We are alright. 110.90. Correct mundo. We're good. DME1. What is this flashing thing here? I don't know what that is. Okay, minimums are put at radio altimeter 200. I'll take that. That's not bad. I'll take that. I shall take that. All right. Coming up down through 11,000 feet, we should be hitting at 10,000 feet any second. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on our landing lights. Let people know we're coming. Let's see. Can we see New York ahead of us? Can we see the airport ahead of us? We should be able to at any second now. Should be able to. Let's have a look at that. We should be able to see it dead ahead of us, as a matter of fact. We should be able to see it somewhere here. I know that. We'll see. We'll see if we are able to spot it today. Alrighty. Where is New York? Hope this flash is not about heating a video card. About heating? No, it's not. It's not. It's not that. It's something to do with the software and stuff. It's not heating or anything. Where is it? Good lord. Got a bit of rain there. Look at that bit of drizzle. That was nice to see. Still have no visuals on the airport. Ooh, that looks good. Let's take a moment to appreciate those water droplets right there. Look at us. Okay, that is a scene that only X-Plane can give you. Okay, coming down to 7,000 feet. Let's go ahead and have a look at a cinematic view on that. That is, look at that scene right there. That is something only X-Plane can give you. Look at that. That is gorgeous, man. That is not the airport we're landing at, by the way. The airport that you're looking at right now is not what we're landing at. That is gorgeous. Look at it. Alright, I'm gonna have to go into the cockpit now and prepare for our landing. I wish we could enjoy the views a bit more, but that's not going to be a good idea, so I'm going to go into the cockpit here and make sure I'm all set up. So 250 knots at the moment. Activate approach speed immediately. So we go down to 210 knots here. Going to deploy the speed brakes immediately to try and slow down. Okay. All right. We can now begin to drop our flaps there. Position 1. Good. Let's reduce the range on that display there. Rosalie coming up. We're supposed to be at 3,000 feet at Rosalie. Yeah, let's slow that down. Let's slow that down further. Looking good. Looking good. Let's go ahead and put that flap down further as well as soon as we can. Going to request the flap to come down to position number 3. $160 now. Okay, that's good. Approach is supposed to be 150 on final. That's what we're gonna do. Flaps 5 for landing, which is right here. We're still on flaps 2, by the way. That's not good. Okay, coming up. We're good. Let's put that flap down further. Reduce that speed further. There we go. Looking good. Okay, within 1,000 feet of 3,000. Let me go ahead and see if the approach button works. So localizer, glide slope, both selected right there. Let's see if they get caught here. Hopefully they do. Okay, we're turning in. And the distance we can see some buildings there. That's New York, most likely. Yeah, of course, that's New York. Where else would it be? Okay. Alright, I can see the runway right there. We have visuals. 3,000 feet, localizer and glide slope both have been caught. Glide slope has been caught. Localizer has been caught. We're looking good. Okay. Alright, let me drop the gear now. Gear is dropping. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, I need to take manual control sooner or later. We need to put our flaps down to position. Where are we at in our flaps position? Let's go down to position number 5 with our flaps. Okay, landing lights are on. Everything that needs is on pretty much, so we don't really need to worry about any of this. Okay, I think we're pretty much ready for landing. If I'm not completely mistaken, here we are ready for landing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take manual control. I'm gonna fly this in by hand as soon as possible. Let me just do that right away. Let me just do that right away. Oh, come on.
Autopilot.
Okay, my aircraft. Okay, it's wobbly. Let's see. Trim is okay, so I'm not gonna mess with it. Localizer. Got wind. We definitely have wind pushing me. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Auto throttle is working. A little too high. Back on glide slope pretty much. 500.
Approaching minimums. Minimums. 200.
Okay, trees in the way there.
100. 50. 40.
Throttle.
30. 20. 10.
Okay. Reverse. Little bit off to the side there. I always have issue maintaining center line on the runway, but the actual landing there wasn't too bad. I'm just gonna cut off the.
Auto brake.
We're gonna turn off here. It's a little too fast for that, but I don't really mind that. Ooh, we got a control issue there. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, I got it back. All right. Let's go ahead and park that there for a second. Okay. It's not too bad. Let me turn those lights off. Turn these lights on. Auto brake is off. Let's put that speed brake back there, and flaps can come back on. Oh, up all the way. Let's release that. All right. Let's also get the APU running, shall we? So we'll get that running. APU running. All right, let's go ahead and park ourselves in, and then we'll take a look at our landing replay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New York JFK. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's see how that landing went. I had difficulty maintaining the center line there, but the actual touchdown wasn't too terrible. So let's see how we can do that. Let's see how we can let's just find ourselves a parking first, and then we'll take a look at the landing replay. Yeah, I wasn't able to do the center line. Was not able to do that today. All right. I rarely get the center line right. It's something I can rarely get right. Here we are. Heading on to find ourselves a parking, and I've got to say, what a beautiful jet here by X-Crafts. It's absolutely wonderful, this jet. It's really fun. It's really fun to fly, especially on medium to short haul. It's really, really fun to fly. And yeah, I highly recommend this thing. It's so cool. It is really cool. Explain 12. Okay. Let me just, our parking is pretty far away, if I'm being honest. It is pretty far away. So I'm going to give it a bit of throttle here. We need to be quick. The parking is a little far. We basically have to go back down the runway. And yeah. I think there's a way I can cut it down. Yeah, there is a way I can cut it down. Yeah, pretty much there's a way I can cut it down. So let me just take this turn here. There should be a way I can cut down the taxi time here. Still getting used to the ground handling on this, which I must say is good. Obviously ground handling and flying is feels much better on X-Plane. So I'm just gonna... Yeah, we're just gonna head on down here. Our gates are somewhere off to that side. So we just need to get ourselves in there. Okay, taxiing along here. Sorry about the long taxi here, guys. Promise we will have landing replays once we park ourselves in. It's just a long taxi. What can you do? What can you do? There we are. Okay, so we're gonna turn to our left here. That should take us directly in to our parkings. All right. Where are they? Taxiing along quite quickly here, 21 knots. All right. APU is now fully on there. All the lights are looking good. Just need to taxi it in, that's it. Okay, and we're going to go this way. There we go, and let's find ourselves a gate. Okay, I'm just gonna take the first one right here. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. There we go. Let us turn in right here. There we are. Okay. Go. I'm going to leave our aircraft here, put the parking brake on. There we go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look at the parking. Hopefully that works well for us. I mean, at the replay, sorry. And then we'll shut down our aircraft. As a matter of fact, we could actually shut it down now because X-Plane does have the connections there. But we'll just go ahead and take a look at the replay. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's do some, you know what, let's look at a cinematic replay. How about that? Take a look at replay in this manner. Alright. Turning on replay mode. Okay, rewinding slowly. Hoping that X-Plane does not crash here. Okay. Seems to be doing okay. Okay, we're rewinding slowly here. There we go. Alright. Okay, we've moved past that little thing. Okay, brilliant. We can now take it back. We can now take it back a little bit more. Oh, that's too much. Maybe around here. Yeah, let's try this. Okay. First landing replay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try this. That flare is so excessive. Yeah, that is not a good landing. It wasn't a terrible landing, but that is way off to the side of the center line there, and we flared way too much, too many times. It was not good. That is not something I'm very happy with, but you know, it's not. It could be much worse. If I'm being honest, it could be much worse. Let's take a look at it. It could be much worse. Let's take a look at it one more time. Yeah, we came in a little high. The trees, my enemies, always have trees in the way, huh? Okay. We came into land here. Too much of a float. Actual touchdown was fine, but yeah. Alright. Okay, that was a good landing replay though. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more external landing replays, and then we'll take a look at a couple of wing views and internal view, and then we shall go back and shut down the aircraft and call it for today. 178.50, that's exactly what I want. Let's take a look. There we go. All right. Let's play that again. Yeah, that was floaty and way off the zone that we wanted to, but it's okay. Let's now check out some internal views here. Rather, yeah, let's check out this view before we check both the wing views, and then we shall shut down our aircraft and call it.
200. 100. 50. 40.
Throttle.
30. 20. 10.
Right?
Auto brake.
Checks this one out. All right. Last landing replay, ladies and gentlemen, and then we can call it. Let's go from this view here. It's supposed to be New York in the distance. We can see some key buildings there. Oh, they show up better than they do in MSFS at this distance, I suppose. All right, brilliant. Let's now fast forward to our parking here. We're gonna go and shut down our aircraft and do all of that stuff. Okay, so we're gonna fast forward through the taxi here. As a matter of fact, let me just drag it on till the end there. There we go. Pretty much. Perfect. All right. Okay, let's, we've got APU running, right? And we've, gonna go ahead and get the ground services ready there. Let's shut down our engines. There we go. We got our engine shut down. It does sound like that. I get what you mean, Ian, but yeah, it does sound good though. It sounds good. GPU on ground objects. We'll open that up. We will attach the jetway. I am going to go ahead and turn that off, turn that off, turn those off. Okay, our landing lights are off already. Okay, that's good. That can come off, strobe off, beacon off. That is good. This can come off. Okay. Good, 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 good. Good stuff. Flaps are up. Speed brake is up. That is done. Yeah, speed brake is up. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Auto brake is off. That's good. It's all good. We can have engine covers on as well. I will leave that on. I mean, we'll leave that off for the time being. What the hell? Okay, we'll switch to GPU here. And we will turn off our APU. Okay? We can turn off our APU and we'll leave it on just like this. I don't know how to turn off the ADIRU IRS systems here. And I'm not going to do that anyway. We don't need to. We're going to leave the aircraft exactly how we found it. There we go. Clean on this side, pretty much. Clean on the other side. And excellent. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's flight. That was really fun. If you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel as well. Do check out my videos. We're going to have the next live stream as promised in the previous live stream. It's going to be extreme flight. So I'm going to plan an extreme flight for us. Probably something to do with weather or visibility, some old navigation, whatever it is. I'll pick something and we're going to have some fun with some extreme weather. That's going to be the next live stream. The next video is going to be about a bit of radio navigation and general navigation as a whole in the NAMC YS11, as I mentioned. So yeah, that is what is going to be. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Thank you very much, EM, for hanging out. Appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. And Grania, thank you for tuning into the chat as well on Kick. I appreciate it. All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna leave today's stream off right here in New York. Beautiful, beautiful New York. There we go. All right. Brilliant. Yep, there we are. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this. Hope you guys had a good time, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Until then, have a good day, take care, and bye-bye.